Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you on Monday, following Monday Night Raw. WWE Network went into the vault, and they uploaded and they streamed live just the match, John Cena against Brock Lesnar from Extreme Rules 2012. Looking back at the Extreme Rules 2012 card, honestly, in my opinion, the way I watched it, I can remember the John Cena versus Brock Lesnar match like it was yesterday. But I don't remember a lot of the other matches on here. I know a lot of people go crazy saying that the CM Punk versus Chris Jericho Chicago Street Fight was a lot better than the WrestleMania 28 match. People talk about the Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan 2 out of 3 falls match, Cody Rhodes versus Big Show in a tables match. I honestly can say that I don't really remember anything except Cena versus Lesnar. I remember that was the one thing everybody was talking about. WrestleMania 28 was in the books. We had got John Cena, who came up a little bit short, fighting against The Rock in the main event of there. And basically, we had The Rock come out on Monday Night Raw and give some sort of like acceptance speech, saying that he was glad he came back to WWE. And I don't really remember him saying a whole lot much else because we wouldn't see him again for a long damn time, even though he promised he would never leave us. John Cena came out at the end of the show. Everybody knew what was coming. It had already been leaked that was out there. Basically, everybody in Miami, they just wanted to chant, yes, yes, yes. And they wanted to see Brock Lesnar come out. And the crowd there pretty much spoiled it for anybody sitting at home. Brock Lesnar came out to a huge ovation, a huge pop. This is the first time we had seen him in WWE since... I can't remember if he left in... I'm going to say he left in 2003. I believe that's when WrestleMania 20 was. Maybe that was 2004 because it's 2014 and we just had WrestleMania 30, so that'd be 2 years ago. So, yeah, whatever year it was, we hadn't seen him since then. He had tried his hand at, I think he even tried to go into a boxing career. He had tried his hand in the NFL, and then he went into mixed martial arts, going into the UFC, of course, having big-time success there, becoming the UFC champion, being the cover boy of the video game, being one of the biggest stars that they had. It all came to an end. He had to retire from fighting. He had some sort of a stomach virus that was like eating the inside of his stomach, and basically it just was taking away from his in the Octagon career. He left there. He came back to WWE, and he was the one guy that everybody wanted to see. He was one of the few guys that was able to leave WWE and pretty much make himself a bigger star than when he left. Pretty much everybody, is looked at as a big star with the WWE machine behind them, pushing them to the top. And most of the time when WWE closes the door on you, you're not able to keep moving forward. It's pretty much Brock Lesnar and The Rock, and that's about it. You can debate on Hulk Hogan. Honestly, I think that Hulk Hogan's always been a star because of what WWE did for him. But I don't think that he was worth what he was without Vince behind him. Pushing him to the yellow and the yellow and red and the Hulkamania. I know that WCW and the NWO got hot, but I just think that if Vince would have done the heel turn in WWF at the time, I just think they would have been able to counteract on it. They would have been able to end it sooner, and they would have been able to, make Hogan still relevant near the end of those WCW days. We wouldn't have seen him, finally put back on the yellow and red and everything like that. But to get down to it, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules 2012, easily. Some people say this was one of the best pay-per-views of 2012. This is one of the biggest matches they had. And here we are 2 years later going into SummerSlam, and this is the biggest match they can put out there. The Rock... he came back, he did a promo at WrestleMania 30, but he didn't do any sort of match. There's some people thinking that maybe he'll come back for WrestleMania 31. I think he's already put it out there that he wants to wrestle again. There was a plan to do Brock versus Rock at WrestleMania 30. The plans fell apart. They weren't able to happen, but I think that that's on the table. I think that Rock would come back to do it. I think that Rock, more than likely, he's not going to come back I think it's very few guys. Maybe The Rock would come back and face Undertaker. I think that's a match that people could get behind. I don't think it's a match that a lot of people want to see. I think The Rock would come back and face John Cena one more time. If he thinks that he can pull a number, he is the biggest star in the WWE. That is on a big time basis. I think that a lot of people were turned off by WrestleMania 29, so that's one reason why they might not do that. And then there's The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. I think that's the one match that we haven't seen since SummerSlam 2012. No, fuck me. SummerSlam 2002, and if that match was to happen, I think that would do a big, huge number. Brock Lesnar being one of the past UFC stars, one of the baddest motherfuckers in the world, and The Rock being one of the biggest action heroes in the world. Get back into the ring and throw each other around. Maybe that'll happen. But, John Cena versus Brock, I think, is easily, if you were to put the roster together, that's the biggest match you can do. Going back to 2012, I've never seen guys do so little in the ring and get such a huge response. I mean, this match is just under 20 minutes, but they don't really do a whole lot. It's just crazy the way that they're able to play off the fans, and everybody's just going bananas. It's like every sort of thing isn't really put together. Brock doesn't really have a sleek style. I mean, it's pretty much like a fight that would happen, behind the football field after school. Just two guys just going in there, throwing everything they have at each other. But it's not like watching like a Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit style of wrestling match where the guys, are bouncing off the ropes and they're flipping each other around. It's just, I'm going to hit you as hard as I fucking can, and you're going to go down. Brock Lesnar and John Cena go at it right from the bell. They collide. Brock takes Cena down. He starts throwing wild punches and elbows to the top of Cena's head. Within 30 seconds, Cena has a huge gash on the side of his head. His head is split open. Blood is coming everywhere. Ref has to come into the ring. He has to clean Cena up the best he can. They start fighting again, and Brock hits Cena on the ground. He splits him again. He's got another cut on him. He's covered in blood. The ref stops the match again. The medic comes in, tries to clean Cena up the best they can, and they just pretty much at that point just say, you know what, this is going to be a bloody mess. If you go back and you look at pictures on WWE.com, they have to turn the footage to a black and white picture. They don't like to put blood up on there. On the network itself where they show this, they don't mess with it. They just show you it is what it is. They try to tell us everything's going to be unedited and uncut as much as possible, so you don't have to worry about that. I've never really looked to see what WWE.com has done when they put the video up of the fight. I don't know if they turn that into black and white. I think it's just the photos itself. But, from there it just turns into a little bit of a cat and mouse game where basically, maybe not even a cat and mouse game, just like, to me, like watching this fight, John Cena to me honestly looks like a guy who fell into the lion's den at the zoo, who's trying to save his own life, but the lion is just too big and too powerful and just is overtaking him. Like, it's basically to a point where the fight gets down onto the floor, where Lesnar is just, using Cena like a pinball, throwing him off the barricade. He's throwing him into the ring post. He's throwing him back into the barricade, just inflicting as much pain as possible. There's a point in the ring where Brock picks up the ring steps, throws him into the ring. He hits Cena with them. He locks Cena into a Kimura lock on top of there, where Cena has to basically power up and become Super Cena, picking Brock up, dropping him down onto the steps. Brock Lesnar turns an attempt. Cena's to the point where he doesn't really have anything to do. He can punch Brock all day, but Brock's not, basically show the effects of the punch. So Cena just goes right for the finisher. He tries to pick him up and hit him with the FU, which Brock turns right into an F5. There's a point where Brock does he tries to run and jump Cena from, he's inside of the ring, so he bounces off the ropes, jumps off the ring steps, which are in the middle of the ring, and hits Cena, because of I don't know if he just overcorrected when he tried to do his jump and he hits Cena. He hits the ropes, and instead of bouncing and falling down to his feet, he falls over the top and piles down onto the floor. I've never seen medics run to somebody so fast. They were so... Brock is selling his knee. He probably hurt it, but he's probably overselling the fact that his knee is hurt. And I've never seen medics get to a guy so fast. Their billion-dollar asset, hurt on the outside during his first match. They must have been going crazy. But basically, Brock gets back into the ring. He starts cheering with the fans. He loves the pain. He loves the fact that he's in pain, and then he loves the fact that he's put Cena in pain. We see Brock try and do the same move again, where basically he bounces off the ropes, comes flying at Cena off the ring steps. And Cena had picked up his old school word life chain and popped Brock right in the head, which splits Brock open. Now they're both bleeding everywhere. They basically pick, Cena picks Brock up. He hits him with the FU right on top of the steps and then pins him on the steps. The only problem is that they count the 1, 2, 3 and Cena does get the win. But Brock's, his shoulders weren't on the mat. His shoulders weren't on the steps. I don't know what the fuck they were counting for. But basically, for where they went from here, Brock Lesnar made 1,000 demands to Triple H about his contract. He wanted more money already, and there was at one point he wanted the name of the show to be WWE Monday Night Raw starring Brock Lesnar. He just made all these sort of demands, which basically turned into Triple H versus Brock Lesnar feud. I was wondering how that one got started. I had sort of forgot. It just seemed like Triple H and Brock just started fighting for months at one point. John Cena showed up to Monday Night Raw the next night like nothing had happened. John Laurinaitis, who had been the characterized guy, who was the general manager of Raw, the person who had the storyline of basically going out and getting Brock Lesnar and putting him up against John Cena, basically said that, Brock wasn't able to get the job done, so he was going to have to do it. So we went into the next pay-per-view, which would be Over the Limit. That would be John Laurinaitis going up against John Cena. A very characterized, very funny match until Big Show comes down to save Laurinaitis with the ironclad contract, punching him right in the face, where John Laurinaitis was able to get the win. But that was a good time in WWE right there. It was fun to watch that. You can go over to the Vault section, look in Video Vault. I think that's the only thing that's up on there right now. So 2012 Extreme Rules, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. This is one that you're going to want to relive. I know that a lot of people gave this a high, marks. A lot of people gave this 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Dave Meltzer himself gave this a 4.5 star rating, whatever that's worth to you. But I honestly am hoping that Survivor Series is going to be a little bit better of a match than this. I don't know what I'm looking for. A lot of people thought that Triple H and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2012 was going to be a fight and a brawl, much like this Extreme Rules match. So when Triple H and Brock Lesnar actually wrestled a wrestling match, a lot of people didn't like that, and they brought up the Boo Birds, and they weren't a fan of that match. I remember I was really into it, but then again, Triple H is one of my favorite wrestlers. But I would love to see an actual, I guess you can say, physical wrestling match between Cena and Lesnar here. We're going to have to see what they pull out, because I think if I was there, I would love to see another brawl too. I want to see them hitting each other with everything they got. But that's going to be it for now. Peace out, everybody. Extreme Rules 2012, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. One fucking awesome match.